When I first met Amber, I thought she was just a small-town queen. Ordinary, maybe a little mysterious. But fate's strange games caused her to shine next to Maxwell Carter, a wealthy and ruthless soul. A year, 2 months, and maybe a few days later, Amber and my world had completely changed. This is a story of wealth and betrayal. Amber's strange attraction to Maxwell began with the sparkle in her eyes. One morning, she pretended to stumble, and just then, Maxwell caught her in his arms. "Be careful, my dear. You wouldn't want to fall here," Maxwell said as he held the door open for her. At that moment, Amber stepped into Maxwell's world. From the day she was hired, Amber quickly rose in Maxwell's company and soon worked only for him. However, I, Jack, Amber's ordinary husband for 10 years, was working as a manager in a manufacturing company, completely oblivious to everything. Before diving into my story, don't forget to subscribe and like this video to not miss the most striking stories about infidelity. Now, I invite you to this emotional journey. Let's begin the video. Everything changed at the Christmas party. Maxwell's huge farmhouse was a gathering place for high society. As the party continued in all its splendor, Amber suddenly disappeared. When we returned home that night, Amber didn't say anything. She just took a quick shower and went to bed. However, I learned the truth a few weeks later when I accidentally met a former employee of Maxwell's. The former employee said that Amber had been locked in a private room with Maxwell that night. Amber had betrayed me that night and was trying to hide this truth. Months later, an envelope from Amber's office explained everything. Inside were a divorce petition and my mother's ring. At that moment, the world stopped for me. I went behind the house in anger and burned all the documents. "It won't end like this, Amber," I shouted to the sky. That day, I went to Amber's office and confronted Maxwell. I entered his office, slamming the door open, and found him sitting at his desk. "Why?" I asked directly, unable to hide the anger in my voice. Maxwell first looked surprised, then with a mocking smile, he said, "Jack, it's like business. You take what you want." These words intensified my anger, and I punched him. Maxwell's chair tipped over and he fell to the ground. The result? A punch, blood, and then several nights in a cell to think. After I got out of prison, I had to give my life a new direction. Amber had started a new life next to Maxwell. That's when I met Sherry. She was always smiling, an energetic woman, and we quickly fell in love. One day, we saw Maxwell and Amber at an event. I'll never forget the expression on Maxwell's face. It was full of anger and pity. I knew Maxwell was out for revenge and that Amber was still under his influence. One evening, while Sherry and I were dining at a local restaurant, a strange man approached our table. This person I had never met before gave me a note and disappeared with a wink. The note was from Maxwell and it read, "The game is not over yet, Jack." Who was this man and why had Maxwell sent him? The next day, Maxwell's man came again, this time with a threat. "Maxwell is giving you one more chance. Forget Amber or face the consequences." This threat further darkened my thoughts. This was not just a divorce matter, but had turned into a power struggle. With Sherry's support, I refused to bow down to these threats. Together, we decided to stand up against Maxwell's pressure. However, this decision was tested by another note left in front of our house at midnight. The note, written with Amber's pen, read, "Help Jack, please." I started to worry about Amber's life, but Sherry said this situation might be a trap. Every day, Maxwell's shadow loomed over our lives. We needed to find a way out. We began to investigate Maxwell's past and discovered that he was not just a businessman, but also had connections to the local mafia. This information was a leverage we could use against him. First, I arranged a secret meeting with one of Maxwell's former partners. This person provided documents about Maxwell's financial irregularities and corruption. Armed with these documents, I collaborated with a local journalist. The journalist thoroughly investigated the matter and published a series of articles. These articles spread quickly and severely damaged Maxwell's reputation. However, this move also had consequences for Amber. Maxwell, furious, took Amber and disappeared. Everything ended with Maxwell's sudden and suspicious death. It was said that he committed suicide, but no one really knows what happened. Amber disappeared after her husband's death and was never seen again.